What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, yes, got strangers in the background running across. How you gonna just run across in my shot? Anyway, so I was gonna make this video last night, but I don't have the right setup for nighttime videos, and it looks all grainy. It looks worse than this, so I was like, I'll wait. It's brand new news. Basically, Destin Legary has been doing his Thug Dizzle with all the information. He's been kind of picking up the slack where Hogue Law would have been in there. I think I'm not gonna think. I'm gonna say I know Hogue Law would have done a way better job because he's a lawyer. And so he would get in the weeds. So I'm waiting for Hogue to come back. He's doing well. He's doing, it takes a while to get back from something like that. So, keep him in your thoughts and everything. But anyway, so I'm sorry, I got the snuffles. It's all the pollen, the oak. Anyway, this is about the Activision Blizzard deal stuff, right? And so he's going through all these lawyers are talking this and that and the third. They think the deal's gonna go through. The CMA is gonna be the only one that's gonna have issues with it or whatever, blah blah blah, right? But there was a little bit of, what was it? It's basically the FTC, right? America. This is what happened. This is what happened, and this is why I think the CMA is crooked and corrupt. The FTC, Microsoft said, we gonna subpoena y'all, Sony, because we need to get some documents and such to, for us to prove our case, in the court of law, because you wanted to talk, you wanted to be all blah, 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 and wah. Well, guess what? All your crying has come to this. FTC wants to go to court. Let's go. We need some documents. Discovery. BI. Let's go. And so Sony's like, no, it's too hard. It's too much money to take and get all that information. It's all this and that and third. See, the FTC was like, no. Denied. Like everything that Sony was crying about, it's not fair, all this stuff, we can't give out this and that and the third, all our secrets. Denied. They said, no, you gotta come with the documents. Let's go. Oh my god. There was like two points that were not denied. I think it was the time period, because Microsoft had asked for 10 years, and then they changed it to like 5 years or something, from 2019 to present day. And so I was like, that's enough time. That's the PlayStation 5, a little bit of 4, but PlayStation 5 era. But the whole 10-year thing would have been more interesting, because we could have seen the birth and the origin of this behavior from Sony. Because Sean Layton was still at the company, and this stuff started happening, They got Call of Duty exclusive. They got all these exclusives from Call of Duty and everything else, and blah, 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 blah. Right? So that's why they went back so far. But Microsoft was denied that by the FTC, but then they re-upped it, said, 5 years from 2019, FTC approved that. So they said, Sony, you got to give them 5 years of data. I mean, it's all kind of, it's not, the other thing that they squashed was Microsoft's request for performance reviews for I guess their employees or whatever. They said, nah, that's not relevant, basically. And I was like, yeah, that's not really relevant, but it might be, but it's not really relevant. We're talking about business practices, and we're talking about exclusives, and this is the main thing where Sony was trying to be slick and not give all the goods and the deets. FTC is like, no, you gotta tell us about the exclusives. What were your exclusive deals? How much? For how long? All this stuff. Third parties. Let's go. I was like, ooh. Remember back when I said, I hope this goes to trial, because I want all the dirt on Sony. I said this last year I said this. Thank you for for granting my wish, oh genie of video games. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Not as much as I appreciate you guys hanging out. And I know that 50% of y'all ain't subscribed. Actually, it's like 48%. But still, if the 48 of y'all who weren't subscribed and did, then I would be over my goal of 1,000. Meanwhile, Destin Legary's over here. I'm trying to get 100,000 subscribers. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm trying to get 300. Yeah, I'm in the kindergarten of YouTube, I guess. Huh? I'm the apprentice, and they the masters. They got plaques. I gotta make my own plaque because they don't give you nothing for 300. They didn't give you something for 1,000? I don't think so. They give you a piece of paper or something? I don't know. I know you get something for 100,000. I think you get a gold one, right? And then you get the platinum one for $1 million, or I don't know. Doesn't matter. I don't really care about that. That, the plaque. I mean, it's cool. It's like, okay, I did it, but ultimately, doing YouTube like this, doing this, is about having fun, really. Talking to you guys. I always go, like I said, I always go in the comments and I always read. I read every single comment, and I will continue to do it as long as I can. Even if I have like 1 billion subs, I'm still gonna read them because not everybody comments, obviously. So it's not gonna be 1 million comments, but I'm gonna read them all, and I like them all too. Even if they saying blah blah blah, you stupid face, I'ma still like it. Even when Legend goes in there and start trolling me, I still like it. Because that's his job. His job is to troll me. He's a pony. I'm a bot. This is what it was all about. But still. I mean, I'm just joking. He's not a real pony. He's just a really hardcore Sony fan. He's definitely not a pony. So I'm just joking. Don't take it to heart. But you ponies out there, watch out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. But yeah, so the FTC, while at the beginning we thought, oh, why they so crazy? Why does Kamala Khan or whatever her name was, why is she so crazy and causing problems? And now I'm like, yay, FTC's our heroes. Now, I mean, I always knew it would come to this, and especially when Microsoft pulled those subpoenas out, they said, yeah, we're gonna do a subpoena. I'm like, oh, that's it. That's it. Because the FTC, they want to do things by the book, right? They want to so they're not going to side. First of all, FTC America. I said this before a little bit. FTC America, why would they side with a foreign country's corporation over our own in the midst of the whole industry? You're talking about NetEase. There's a couple of giant Chinese corporations. You got Japan, Sony, Nintendo, and then you got Google America. You got Microsoft America, Nvidia America, I guess. Is it Nvidia America? I'm just assuming they are. And it's like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they recognize that if this deal doesn't go through, it is a possibility that NetEase or one of these other giant corporations in China will grab them up, because Activision don't care, Bobby Kotick don't care. He's like, money is green. I don't care who has it. Well, actually, technically, money is not green. It's different colors in different countries, but you know what I'm saying. Money is money. Doesn't matter where it comes from for these guys. So, what's the worst? What is the worst thing that you could possibly do, FTC, to really mess up America as far as economy? Give all of our money-making things to China. That would be bad. Now, I'm not trying to make this political, but it's just kind of reality, right? So, if they say, okay, we don't like the idea of Microsoft being a monopoly, so we're gonna do these and say these things and say, okay, this is the things you have to do, and then we'll be fine, and just do this. And Microsoft's like, all right, cool, let's go. FTC didn't say, oh, you have to sell off this and that. They didn't say that. The CMA said that, right? You got to sell off Call of Duty, and I was like, what? Huh? But the FTC is like, show us the stuff. I'm pretty sure the FTC didn't say that. I think that was just a CMA. Well, was that the EU? I don't remember. It's all a blur. It's all mixing together. But those will stop them. I can't do this. I can't. I will always. So the denial, the deny, the constant, the consecutive denied in this document was so entertaining because it's an illustration of Sony's hubris and their arrogance, and they say, "Oh, we're the victims," and they're destroying Microsoft in most markets. In America, it's close. They're still winning though. It's close though. Everywhere else, they're destroying them, and they're acting like they're the victims. I'm like, how? What? And I'm like, I know these government officials and stuff. They're not dumb. So if they side with Sony, then corrupt, right? It has to be. CMA. What are y'all doing? I think the CMA is waiting for the last possible minute to see what everybody else does, and then they're gonna say, what can we do for our boy Jim Ryan in the end? We're gonna pass it, but what can we do? What little bit of extra stuff can we get out of Microsoft that all these other fools couldn't get? What can we do for Jimmy, my boy Jimmy? What can we do? And the answer is, I think they're gonna try to do one of those in perpetuity type of deals, or they're gonna try to do the same Spider-Man deal, the Marvel Spider-Man movie rights deal, which is the dumbest deal ever. I think the best thing that they could do is say to Microsoft, look, and Microsoft, I think they said this, as long as PlayStation makes a console for Call of Duty to exist on, they will have Call of Duty, right? And that is kind of the equivalent of what the Spider-Man deal is. Spider-Man deal basically is, as long as you make a movie every 7 years, you keep the rights. So that's it. That's it. That's all. I think that's the best case scenario that Sony can look at right now, as far as all the facts and stuff. So we'll see what happens. Sorry about the nose. We'll see what happens. And like I said, I want all the goods. I know there's gonna be redacted, but this is the good yummy, and I love it. It's so good, it's so funny. Man, Sony has gone down so fast and so rapidly that I am waiting for the general public to catch wind of all these things that are happening. I mean, I don't think they will for the most part, but we as gamers, the guys and gals on the front lines who tend to influence how the industry goes, depending, maybe it'll be a little bit of a lag, a little bit of a delay on the effect of Sony's demise, but I think it'll happen. Once the deal goes through, it'll happen because the mind share is going to shift a little bit, and then it'll be more even across the board, across the world, across the entire industry, and then Sony has to actually do some work instead of buying their way to the top. You know what's funny? Last thing, not Sony, the fanboys, the ponies were always saying, "Oh, Microsoft has to buy their way. They have to buy talent. They got to buy games. They got to buy studios." I'm like, you were so dumb, because Sony has been doing that for literally 10 years with Call of Duty. They have been buying their way, buying that exclusivity in order to stay on top, right? So what's the difference? Also, they gave them a special deal in order to keep the exclusivity. They took less money so they could keep Call of Duty exclusive. Man, Sony is so dirty. I mean, it's not dirty, it's business. But at the same time, you can't sit there and act like, oh, our exclusives are so good. Meanwhile, exclusives ain't even keeping the doors open, ain't keeping the lights on. It's Call of Duty. Anyway, I appreciate y'all hanging out, showing up, listening to my subscribe, and hit me up in the comments. Let me know about this denied. How do you, Sony, ponies, duck unicorns, how do you feel about the FTC denying Sony's requests over and over again? Denied. Okay, we'll let that go. Denied. How do you feel? And ultimately, do you think the deal is going to go through? And like, what are the final concessions that the CMA may invoke or whatever upon Microsoft? I'm interested to see what their final conclusion is, but the further we get into this, it seems like it's gonna all go through or whatever. But anyway, I appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. To the wind.